What could go wrong with being a professional, like professional as in conduct, Formula One race car driver? End up on the cover of a book in a room with me. I'm Tanis, she, her, hers of Seattle, and today is Saturday, 23 August 2025. And in honor of my parents' 39th wedding anniversary, I've decided to do a video. So this is covering family presentation trip ideas for once moved in with my Lewis Hamilton, Idaho v. Minnesota. So here I, Tanis, she, her, hers of Seattle, ruminate about family presentation trips with my Lewis Hamilton, trips to introduce him to my family once we have moved in together, covering ideas for visiting my family in Idaho versus visiting my family in Minnesota. So introducing him to the family, since I am to take his name Hamilton. All right. How do we present him? In what order? So I have family in Idaho. It's a little far east of the farms and the family in that area with the goats. And then I have family in Minnesota, which at some point in time had cows, but now I think they have pigs. And so I can think of it as in visiting both Idaho and Minnesota, before we get into the verses, the goal of the presentation trip, which is introducing him to my family, we don't want to end up sleeping with the goats in their goat sty, and we don't want to end up sleeping with the pigs in the pig sty, okay, on the farm, any of the farms. So there's one goal. There's a golden standard for us to try and attain. I think there's a little bit of what could go wrong as he's maintained a high standard. So this is March 2025 book, Sir Lewis by Michael E. Sawyer, and I'm reading it and I'm through page 85. And he's very professional, Lewis Hamilton. And I was thinking, I was like, so a catch about being very professional, and I've been through it a bit myself, is when one's in a technical role or kind of stays in the same role, they might become very good communicators in their sport. However, when they're taken into a setting where they need to be able to talk about something other than, or not their sport, the work setting or whatever it is, right, to be able to talk about something else and be approachable and relatable, may actually become quite difficult. So the personal life may suffer with somebody becoming like too professional on the job. So the concern there is, and that's in my role too, is like, have I managed to stay tuned in my own skills enough that I can serve as a bridge? However, especially with the family, I have family with farming experience, but also construction experience. So then they might have technical understanding and skill sets. So then my guy needs to, realize that I called one of my own family guys my guy, right? So that using that, I'm her guy, John might go, no, I'm her guy. She called me my guy all her childhood, Okay, so there might be confrontations like that. There's confrontations for like a term meaning something in Formula One race car driving versus in construction versus in farming. No, it means this, So there's sometimes it's like being too technical. So knowing when to step back or like not get into it. By trying to obtain a professional standard when really the term means something else for the other people's knowledge base. So it was like, okay, for mind clearing, do we take my laptop or laptops or computers or whatever, and Nancy your computer games and maintain weekend Wednesdays and or sacred Saturdays accordingly? Sometimes they are not so good as recognizing in themselves. So sometimes, like my Lewis, he may have a hard time recognizing in himself at the time when his confidence has taken a hit. Perhaps the traditions could help. And even if there's not, for like thinking through a weekend Wednesday, that might be one of like, if we're struggling, just be like, even if we don't have the computer game, is there like, can we treat it like a weekend day if it's during the week? And like, just think of clearing the mind, right? And thinking of, we're not there to pick a fight or anything. It's about introducing him and hoping he gets accepted and I'm still accepted and we're accepted at the couple level. But like understanding if not, then not. African hamsters are not the norm in my family. Okay, we're speckled papaya. Okay, so he gets to have the honor of being himself and knowing that I love him no matter what, and us getting to follow through on that, and not letting anything get us down, even if it's just our own internal demons, right? Not forgetting to speak to each other and be like, you just went perfectly. Let's not try and introduce anything demon-like, okay? We remember our God is Hades. Hades will look over us, okay? And take all our demons away and give us cute little hedgehog demons, you know? Okay, we're the river otters, that kind of thing. So so there's that. In terms of verses, he feels a bit petered out, but he still likes to travel. So the biggest verses there is the ordering. So he wants to go to Minnesota first, and I'm more like, should I consult my parents? Like, should we have a discussion with my parents before we go? And contact both and see who's up? Do we contact both at the same time? I guess I want in-person discussion, and like possibly to include my parents before, like all four of us. However, he's like Minnesota, Idaho. So the verses there, I guess, is like the animals. Like, we could incorporate the animals. Which, do we get to see the farm animals? Do we want to go see, you know, certain lakes or like certain mines, you know? So I didn't do so good on the verses. However, it's really one thing ordering, and we have a little bit of a difference of opinion, so we need to figure out how to address that and not let it snowball. So there we go. That's family presentation trip ideas for once moved in with my Lewis Hamilton, Idaho v. Minnesota.